Over the last 6 days alone, I've been inundated with stories coming from farmers here in the United States about how badly they are getting screwed by the Trump administration, and we're only 4 weeks in to the Trump administration. Some of these stories from when we were only 3 weeks into the Trump administration. But one of them really stuck out to me just because of the way it was written. There was a farmer and agricultural consultant from Kansas by the name of Ben Palen who put out an op-ed basically in a paper called the Kansas Reflector. And in this column, this man, who again is a farmer, agricultural consultant, he basically blasted the farmers themselves, he's one of them, for not doing their homework about what Donald Trump was going to do to their industry. Out of all the industries in the United States, as of right now, 4 weeks into the Trump administration, nobody's been hit harder than the farmers. I mean, government workers are a very close second, but in terms of the impact on the industry and then the industry's impact on our lives, nobody has been hit worse so far than farmers. And this is, of course, a group, of people who overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump, right? This is a stronghold of his base, these very people that are getting screwed over the worst right now. So here is what Palin had to say in this op-ed. We are now living and working in an environment where the only constant is chaos. Chaos produces uncertainty, and that leads to loss of trust. The buyers of U.S. farm products are not going to deal with nations that cannot be trusted. There are plenty of options in today's world for those buyers to bypass the United States. Why on God's green earth would they put up with the insanity that we have in Washington right now? And of course, he is talking about sending U.S. goods overseas. These other countries who do buy, fruit, vegetables, and other produce from the United States, they don't all have to buy from the United States. They can buy from other countries. And when you look at the options right now, that may be a better option. And that, of course, screws farmers, which then screws the U.S. economy. He continues, the climate smart programs designed to help farmers monetize carbon reduction practices on their farms are going away. The future of the 45Z tax credit is, well, who knows? What about export assistance programs urgently needed to help U.S. farmers counter the effects of the Trump tariffs and the rise of our global competitors such as Brazil and India? And how about the price subsidies that featured prominently in the U.S. Department of Agriculture's farm support programs? What happens when the NOAA is defunded? My fellow farmers, you've been played. This nation cannot exist as an island. But that is the path that this administration is on, and the onus is on responsible folks from all political persuasions to find common ground to stop this madness. One of the things I love about that, probably the line that stuck out to me most, is something that I have repeatedly said as kind of a warning to all the MAGA hat wearing people out there in this country. The United States cannot exist on its own. We absolutely cannot. We are dependent upon other countries. Other countries are dependent upon us. But we're far more dependent upon them. If we piss off everybody, it not only affects the United States economy, it affects our very national security. We have military bases all over the world because other countries let us do that. They don't have to. And they can very easily decide to take that away from us. Maybe they should. But then again, that puts our national security at risk. They're going to be less inclined to share their secrets with us about, sensitive intelligence issues with this gaggle of idiots that Donald Trump has put in charge. People like Tulsi Gabbard, people like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., people like Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio. The list is endless. And let's not forget the tariffs. The mass deportations. Those are what's having a direct impact on U.S. farmers right now. And those things are only going to get worse from here. We are probably, based on what Donald Trump has been saying, just days, maybe a week or two away from those 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Both countries have announced that they are already in the process of planning retaliatory tariffs. Trump announced this weekend that he is in the process of coming up with retaliatory tariffs for their retaliatory tariffs, and then we're in one of the worst trade wars the world has ever seen. And the farmers get hit first. But you've been hit too. You see it when you go to the grocery store right now. You see the results of what Donald Trump has done to farmers across the country. So it started with them. It hits the consumers. It's coming for other industries, as we're being warned. I mean, the CEO of Ford came out last week and said if Trump does his tariff thing, the auto industry in the United States is effectively dead. These are all decisions that Donald Trump has made on his own, right? These were not acts of Congress. They were the acts of one man who doesn't understand the economy, at least according to the Wall Street Journal. They said he doesn't understand it. And people are getting screwed. Everybody is getting screwed. But the people getting screwed the hardest are the very people who put Donald Trump in power to begin with. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.